when I was asked to become a keynote speaker for TEDxUKM, I asked what the theme is, and they told me it's wandering the web. And as I understand, wandering the web means to plan, to do the unplanned, to experiences through unexpected moments, and to wander around until you find an experience that is meaningful to you or that's something that you can learn from. And that is precisely the reason why I gave my dog to eat my speech and my script today, and I will leave it to all of you to wonder, imagine, and to think what my speech will be today. Thank you. Just joking, all right? So, what I want to share today is, when I first walked into the corridors of this university of ours, I had two game plans in mind. Number one, to score good grades, and number two, to ensure that I secure a scholarship so that I can finance myself and mom will be happy for me. 3 semesters in, and I got none of that. No good grades, no scholarship, and no idea why am I doing this and why am I here in this university. But mom is still happy with me. I'm sure many of us experience the same thing or go through the same experiences. Some of us are here because we want to achieve our childhood dream of doing something great. Some of us are here because our parents make us come to this university. Some of us have figured out what we want to do. Some have not figured out what we want to do. Some of us has a plan in mind, some don't. And some of us are struggling. Some of us are thriving. And some of us are just trying their best to make ends meet. But I want to say that all of this is normal. It is part of the experiences that you are going to get. It's part of wandering the web. And I want to tell you that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to take your time. And it's okay to take one step at a time to build and to learn new experiences. Because life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. And that is what happened to me. So, in my final year, my best friend Sun Yong, who is sitting in this crowd today, he called me out for a mama dinner at Faris Maju. And he didn't only call me, he called 2 other of our housemates, Cici and also Ray. And he sat there. I thought he's going to teach us, finally, how did he slide into DMs of girls and get them to get their attentions, which is something I've always failed to do. But suddenly, all he came and said was, I have a big, beautiful idea. And that idea is, let's set up or establish TEDxUKM. And he started talking about, having the websites, doing TEDx Discovery series, doing a podcast, doing a YouTube video, calling this speaker, calling that speaker. And I looked at him in full shock and say, wow, that's a lot of big ideas. And definitely that's not a box of chocolate, but rather a Pandora box or a can of worms. But of course, when you have best friends, you do foolish things for them. You do some of the stupidest thing with them, some of the craziest thing. So then, by pressure, I agreed, and all of us agreed to want to achieve that vision that he had. But the problem is, we don't know where to start or how to begin. So that's when we start to do our research and we realize, hey, we are not going to do the first TEDxUKM because someone else has done it. And that person happens to be our senior, Raymond, who just gave a speech earlier. But that TEDxUKM was a big project, was a fantastic idea, but it did not last. It did not sustain itself. So if you want to do something, if you want to create the community, you want to create an organization, you want to create an idea, you need to think about 2 things, which is first, how to start it, and second, how to sustain it, because idea will not have everlasting or generational impact if it's not sustained by itself. And that is when we all went and met Raymond and said, hey, we got this idea, we want you to teach us how to do it. And we met Raymond, we met many other people from other TEDx, we met many friends, and finally all of us sat down in that small apartment of ours and we had this eureka moment. The only way that we can do this TEDx and make sure it sustains itself if we know what the value of doing TEDxUKM is, or what the value TEDxUKM will be for the wider community in UKM and also outside of UKM. And that, we figured the final piece of the puzzle would be seeing TEDx as more than just a platform for people to speak, but as a platform for voices that are not usually heard to be heard, as a platform for people like you and me to come to get inspiration and ideas, as a platform where strangers become friends and friends become community. And with that, we seal the foundation of what TEDx is going to be. Not today, not tomorrow, but forever. And we begin our work. So the four of us, plus our committee that we set up, it's a very interesting dynamic. Sun Young being the captain and the lead, he's the mind who strategizes with a vision, who wants to build a system that will last for us. And then we have Ray, who is the politician and salesman who will help us deal with the university administration and also the marketing aspect of TEDx. And then we have Cici, who will spend hours and hours a day to churn out all the curation content, the writings of our speakers, and all the ideas that could come up with. And then let's be that one friend that you come to just do anything and everything. So I help clean up the apartment, I wash the toilets, I help buy them food and to keep them alive and to make sure they all go to bed. But of course, I also did some of the curation part and I enjoyed the experience. And because of that, because of the hard work that we had and because of the sacrifices that we put through in that small apartment of ours, together with the team that we had, we created what you are seeing right now, TEDxUKM, where each and every one of us can come to experience an experience. And it is through TEDxUKM that we learn how grassroots movement could be mobilized to help the most vulnerable humans on earth, like the refugees. It is through TEDxUKM that we learn why we should adopt pets and not shop for pets. It is through TEDxUKM that we gave a university student from another university other than UKM to participate in the project that we are building. And he was a committee member, and the following year he became a co-curator, and on the top force in TEDxUKM, so that he could live and to enjoy the passion that he had. And it's through TEDx that we founded Discovery Series, because we saw how people usually get inspired by the likes of Obama and all these big names. But in fact, deep within UKM itself, we have a lot of students who may not be heard, but have a lot of experiences that can drive inspiration and to create ideas for you to think about. And it is through TEDxUKM we are able to give representation for our national language bar simulation to be presented on a global stage. Ladies and gentlemen, in the story of life, if you want to design what your life would be in university, in high school, in your career, or within your family, you have to think about three things. The first is, do you want to be a winner? Second thing is, do you want to be a builder? And the third thing is, do you want to be a winner, a builder, and a lover? Do you want to be a lover? All right? So winners are those who put a lot of effort, have a lot of resilience and grit to achieve remarkable success. Builders are those who want to build communities, build organizations, build ideas to create impact for others. And lovers are those who want to care for someone or the community, that they will come back often, more often than not, to contribute, to celebrate, and to continue to support what has been built. I will leave it to you to wonder what design that you want to have for your life. You could have the design of being a builder, a winner, and also a lover. But don't be surprised, because right now in this crowd, you can actually see people of this kind. They may not be heard right now, but it's through these experiences you will see them. And I would like to take this opportunity to show you some of them. If I can ask Sun Yong to stand up, please. The guy who created the system that lasts for us. Can I have Ray to stand up, please? The guy who supported this with all his effort. And Cici to stand up, please. For all your thoughts and all your processes that you put through this at a time when there's no ChatGPT, okay? And also, if I can have Raymond to stand up, please. The guy who was bold enough to found and to establish the first TEDx, and also the first TEDx to be organized by a public university. And these are people that you want to look up to, and these are people that you want to learn from. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, wandering the experience or wandering the web is about experiencing experience, and also it's about making experiences. So in a time that you have, in whatever journey that you have, if you want to make an experience that not only benefits you, but the wider community, if you want to make an experience that has impact, don't think too much. Just start. The plan is not always certain. You will not have everything perfect at every single juncture or every single point of time. But if you don't start, you don't know. If you don't know, you don't experience. And if you don't experience, others cannot experience it too. Ladies and gentlemen, look around you. You have all come today on this Saturday morning to do things that you never thought you would do. To meet people that you never thought you would meet. To listen to people talk about things that might not even relate to you. And this is what wandering the web is. And this is how wandering the web. Thank you.